Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer on tour. And today, not only have I got a new job, I've got a new car. And you're saying, what is it? It's a Tesla! Gobby Gaffer, going up in the world. Well, welcome along. This is Club 2 in this year's Grassroots to Goal Boot Save. I'm the Gobby Gaffer, and I'm now manager of SC Cambuur. Previously manager of FC Fylde, where by the board's admission I was an A+ manager and I was untouchable. That was one of the last messages I got before I took this current job. So a lot of people may be saying it's a little bit of a risky move. For the reasons I gave in the last episode, if you've not seen the last episode, go back and watch the last episode because I gave all the reasons for it. And the main headline reasons were that basically when I was applying for jobs, that it was saying that I hadn't got a team away from relegation. This team is in the relegation area. I hadn't managed in a foreign land. This team is in a foreign land. I'm sorry to all Dutch people. That's not being disrespectful. It's just not in England where FC Fylde were. Obviously, you know, I'm very, very happy now to be in Holland managing SC Cambuur and to see what we can do with this club. They did get promotion from the Dutch second division in, I think, season 2021. They've had a brand new ground built. So everything is set here for this club to take off in the right direction. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult to match teams like Ajax, who have a 50-odd thousand seater stadium, and you know their financial reserves are much greater than ours. But you know, sometimes it can be done, and let's see if we can do it with SC Cambuur. So, as you can see, I've arrived, Tesla and all. And can't wait to get stuck in. So let's just have a little look of one or two of the things that I've been working on since I arrived. So I haven't signed anybody as yet. Just waiting to see, play a few games. Let's get a few games under my belt, see where we need to strengthen. I mean, the players that we've got, it is a bit of an ageing squad, I have to say. But there's a lot of experience here, so maybe we can avoid relegation and then look to do some transfer business in the summer. We'll see how we go. But we are in the January transfer window, so we need to bear that in mind. Anyway, if we look at the dynamics, team cohesion is average. We need to get that up. Club atmosphere, very good, so that's okay. Managerial support, again, is average, but they don't know me yet, so we've got to work on that as well. This is a tactic that I've decided to go with. So we're basically playing with a positive mentality. We're going to play the ball out from the back and try and play some football. Dutch football is well known for that technical ball playing style, so we will trying to emulate that. So we're playing with an inverted winger on the left-hand side and a winger on the right-hand side. We've got a wing-back attacking on one side, a wing-back defending on the other. I mean, at the moment, I'm just playing around with roles, more or less playing the players in the positions that they like to play in. But anyway, so that's kind of the basic tactic that we're going to be using. Quick look at the staffing screen. I think you can agree, if you did watch the last episode, I think you can agree that already it's looking a lot better, but there is more work to be done. And come the summer, we will be having a bit of a clear out because a lot of my staff, their contracts run out in the summer, so we'll be bringing new staff in. But I think you can agree at the moment it's looking a lot better than it did when I arrived. I brought some new scouts in, and as you can see already, that's producing results. You know, they've brought recommendations in with them. So we've got this lad here, Keon Etete, he's an A+, a target striker. Victor Pastrana, he's a winger, an inverted winger, getting an A+ as well. So you can see already we're starting to generate some players that may or may not be of use to us. This is my director of football, relying on him quite a lot at the moment. I'm not entirely sure whether he's the best director of football that I could have at this moment in time. He's got judging player ability 14, potential 14, negotiating 13. I mean, his mentals are, you know, kind of above average. People management 16. But his contract also runs out in June. So maybe, I mean, I have got to work with him at the moment because that was a stipulation in my contract. But come the summer, we may be looking for a new director of football. But at the moment, we're working together. He's bringing me in some players and we'll see how that one goes. We've already had a look at the finance screen, but we have got over 10.5 million in the bank. I've had to juggle the transfer budget and the wage budget a little bit, so we're now just under the wage budget, 125,000. We're spending 123, but I have dropped the transfer budget down to 3.7 million. I would like to try and spend the majority of that before the end of January, because as we all know, in Football Manager, if you don't spend that money, then it kind of gets lost. And so I'd like to try and spend it if I can. But I'm not spending it for spending's sake. It has to be on the right players. And lastly, if we have a look in the development centre, we've got some quite good young players coming through. All these lads here, all 2-star. I mean, look at this lad here, Eidigan. 2-star with the potential to be 5. He looks absolutely brilliant. Bosch, again, 2-star with the potential to be 4.5. Tejnestrand. So we have got some real good stuff coming through in the development centre. So you're all nicely caught up now, and I think it's time to jump into a couple of games. The first game is against FC20. I did say initially that it wouldn't be an easy game. I mean, I still don't think it'll be an easy game, but I thought FC20 were a little bit higher in the league. They're actually just below us in the league. I mean, we're 14th, so they're not having the greatest of seasons. And the second game will be against FC Volendam, and that's an away game. Anyway, let's get stuck in, shall we? I'm sure you're all excited to have a look at some Dutch football and see how it compares to English football. I'm really excited. Get these players out there. We've had a little bit of time with them on the training pitch. Let's get stuck in, shall we? Let's get into the home dugout. Well, welcome to the Cambuur Stadion here in Leeuwarden. Yes, that's where we're situated, Leeuwarden in Holland. And the team for today, you've already had a quick look at it, but it's going to be Berens in goal, back four of Jacob, Tol, Aniba, Suarez. We've got Lindhorst playing a deep line playmaker today. Jacobs and Traore are the middle two. We've got His Majesty on the left wing. We're very, very privileged today. It's actually Sir Lord Conte. Right wing, we've got Masaba. And the striker today is Grot. Well, let's hope he's not. So it's going to be quite a new adventure for me today, this. I'm used to a team that plays really nice football. He's very together and cohesive. And I'm used to seeing that nice football that team played. Today is going to be, I don't even know whether I'm playing the same formation that they're used to playing. Some of these players might be playing a position they're not used to. So it's all a learning curve for all of us. But we are on the ball. Suarez back to Aniba. And we're just playing the ball around nicely at the back. Tol, Jacobs. Up to Conte. And that's a nice little ball on the inside to Jacob. And his shot goes very wide of that post. So these players today, they're all in the shop window. And I'm the customer. I'm the one who's doing all the viewings. So they need to impress me today. And actually, maybe some of them are in the shop window, because at this moment in time, I don't know whether some of them might be sold to raise some funds. And that's not ideal. So FC20 have just scored. We're 1-0 down. And that was quite horrible. Let's just have a quick look at that. See if we can pick out anybody who was at fault. Yeah, so was that our deep line playmaker there? Just stood and watched that ball. Didn't attack it or anything. So although we have been slightly on top in the game, we are losing 1-0. So we're going to go attacking, I think. And we're going to give them a demand more. Yeah, so like I say, as far as the shop window goes, some of these players could be on the bike. And it would raise a little bit of money and relieve a bit of wage budget. So, oh, that's a nice goal, though. And it's J-Roy Grot. Nice header there from the corner. Let's watch that one again. I've got my corner instructions set up nicely then. Grot just rises head and shoulders above everybody and nods that down, which is one of my real soapbox things with corners. Very often players will head the ball over the bar, head it down. Right, I'm just going to let them know that I don't stand for anything that's second best. So they're getting a flea in their ear. Traore is looking disheartened. Well, again, as I've said before in my management career, if you're disheartened with the my strong views on whether you're playing well or not, there's the door. Because I only want players playing for me who are going to give 100% every game. If you're going to get disheartened when you get a flea in your ear, that's not really good enough, is it, to be honest? Well, we need to be closing this down. Because the keeper made a save there. The keeper's made a save. So, 56 minutes, 1-1. FC20 have a corner. We need to get our head on this. Come on, look like you want that ball. Get out to it. Need a little bit more endeavour there, to be honest. Okay, so Lindhorst is coming away with the ball. And he's given that away. But Conte has come away with it. Conte has still got the ball, even though he's been tackled. We're not really showing a lot of endeavour to get forward here and support the player on the ball. But Conte! Grot! Oh, do we have the dreaded VAR? We do have the dreaded VAR. But it's awarded! 2-1! And I was giving it to Conte. Got Conte on the brain. That was a lovely ball forward from Masaba. I did look offside, if I'm honest. But we'll go with the referee. The referee's my friend today. And we're winning 2-1. 60 minutes on the clock. And this is going very, very nicely. J. Roy Grott, 2 goals, 8.7 rating he's on. I think we'll probably be making some substitutions in a second. If there's one thing I am noticing a little bit is that we... Referee? VAR? No help with that one. Yeah, we seem a little bit lacklustre in following the ball, and we don't seem to be kind of, we don't seem to be on it as much as we should be. We're not following the ball out. Okay, substitution o'clock. I have 2 tactics loaded. So I've gone to my second tactic, which is a bit more of a long ball. I brought Arcadair on as a target forward up front. So we've got 2 strikers now. Rock has come on the right wing. And the Brazilian Lula has come as a Mazzala in midfield. And unfortunately, none of that made any difference whatsoever, because it finished 2-2. But, not a bad result. I don't mind a point out of my first game. I think we could have won that game. Certainly, if you look at the statistics, 16 shots, 8 on target, XG of 1.35. We had 61% of possession. But it was a fairly even game. 20's stats weren't that much different. So that's the first game done and dusted. 1 or 2 things there. 1 or 2 things were okay. 1 or 2 things not so great. Like I mentioned in game, wasn't very impressed with the team working as a team. We kind of, we win the ball and nobody seems to support it. So we need to work on that on the training ground. Obviously, Grot up front can put the ball in the back of the net. So that's nice to see. And we move on now to an away game, FC Volendam. They are actually deeply entrenched in the relegation area. So, although it's away from home, would like to try and get 3 points out of this game. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Well, welcome to the Kras Stadion. Just a little bit of news for you. We've made the first signing. Thanks to my director of football for finding this one, Van der Kust. He's a left wing back. He is actually a wing back as well. He's not a full back pretending to be a wing back or the other way around. Physically looks brilliant. He's great at marking and tackling. Mentally superb. 3.5 star. Potential to be 4. He's only 25 years old. So I think we've got a really good signing there for that left wing back berth. And just before the game starts, I did say I was still working on staff numbers. As you can see now, I've signed a few more staff members, particularly for the coaching team. And we are now starting to look really good. So we have the best goalkeeping coaches in the league. We have very, very nearly the best fitness coaches in the league. All of this is now looking really good. Still need to work on the recruitment team. Still need to work on the medical team. So back to the football. So the team to play Volendam today is Berens in goal, back 4 of Van der Kust, the new lad, Tol, Aniba and Asta. Lindhorst is the deep line playmaker. In the middle, we've got the two lads that we have on loan, Lulo and Traore. Out wide, we've got Grot, who is playing a wide target man today. We've gone very, very fancy here in Holland. Very, very fancy indeed. So Grot has come from striker to playing that wide target man. Musaba is playing on the wing on the right. And we're having a look at Arokadar up front today. And let's see if he can bang a few goals in for us. And we're underway. We do seem to have started quite brightly. We've had 3 shots, 1 on target, XG of 0.29. But coming up to the 25th minute mark, we've had no highlights yet. I think we'll go attacking and we'll just give them a little bit of encouragement. So we get our first highlight, 36 minutes into the game. Toll. Lulo plays the ball out to Grot. So Van der Kust, the new lad, is coming down this left-hand side, back to Grot. Inside there for Lulo. And it's put in by Arokadar. So that was a nicely worked goal. We seemed to be a little bit more cohesive going forward there. We were supporting each other. Nice little run this by Kust on this side. Lulo brought him on for the first start of the season. Well, first start in my reign. And Arokadar puts us 1-0 up. Now then, we need to keep hold of that. So we have a corner. Linthorst taking the corner. In swinging to the far post. And we didn't get our head on that one. But Musaba comes away with the ball. Over to Linthorst. Lovely goal for 2-0. That was a very, very nice clean finish. Very nice clean finish indeed. So although we didn't win the ball from the corner, Musaba plays a lovely ball, chipped over to Linthorst, and he puts the ball in the back of the net for 2-0. And we're very, very nearly to half-time. Can we not concede now, just going into half-time? Can we... All that work that we've just done on the training ground, working as a team, that was very nicely nipped in, though. Lulo there, working really hard to pick the ball up. Lulo again. Ball over onto this left-hand side. Van der Kust into the box. Ooh, and just over the top. I'm liking the looks of Lulo already. He looks a very, very busy little player. So we're well into the second half now. Second half starting exactly the way the first half started. Absolutely no highlights at all. But we do get one. Toll slings the ball into the box from a free kick. And something's going on here. We have the... oh, it's a penalty review. VAR. Penalty awarded. Not entirely sure what that was for. Maybe a handball, possibly. Not sure. The penalty to Traore. He's taking the penalty and puts it into the bottom left-hand corner. And we're 3-0 up. This is a very, very nice performance. That little bit of time we had on the training pitch with them between the last game and this one seems to be paying dividends. I spoke to them a lot about playing as a team and working. Watch where the ball is, support the ball. And we seem to be doing that. 3 changes. I brought Arimu and Jacobs on in the centre of midfield. Arimu's just going to play slightly withdrawn now as a defensive central midfield player. And I brought Van der Meer on at centre back just to give us a little bit more legs at the back. Looks to be a very good crowd. But then they obviously knew we were in town, so they'd come to see some really nice football. And as I say that, as per usual, commentator's nightmare, we give the ball away. Oh, that was a nice tackle, was it? It wasn't a nice tackle. I think we've just given the penalty away. And the referee is going over to the little box to have a look. I'll be surprised if that doesn't get given as a penalty. What do you think, referee? No penalty. Really? So I stand by my initial statement. It was a very good tackle. 82 minutes, winning 3-0, not conceded a goal even. Long ball out from their keeper. Arimu, Linthorst, Jacobs, Van der Meer, playing the ball about like we know what we're doing. Arimu to Grot. Grot out to Van der Kerst. Van der Kerst, he's going on a run. Whoa, and he gets taken out there. Completely body checked, and their player gets sent off for that. Bobbing on very, very nicely now to the final whistle. Although we have got another highlight. Asta. Just playing the ball around simply. Lindhorst. I've got to get to know my players yet. So you can see him hesitating a little bit. Oh, that's a nice finish by Aroka there. Although the referee's doing his thinking about it again. We've gone to VAR, goal review, and it's been disallowed, that one. Okay, we can't complain. We had a penalty decision, didn't we? So their keeper is taking the free kick. I mean, that is very, very pleasing. As a brand new manager, that is very, very pleasing. And as you can see there, Rokadere was miles offside. And they're all going to get a nice pat on the back for that, because that was really, really good. A really good result. And with that result, we've now moved up to 10th. Played 19 games on 22 points. It's all very congested around there anyway. So, I mean, to be honest, 5 points would take us into 6th place. So it's very, very congested round there. You know, obviously there's a lot of football to be played. And with that, I think that's quite pleasing. First 2 games have got 4 points. Not too bad for a team who've been struggling all season. So I don't think that's too bad at all. Although we've not really been tested yet. But having said that, I'm quite pleased. Will tell you I've been back to file for Micah Beerith. He came back. We did a scout report on him. Came back as a 3.5 with the potential to be 4.5 star striker. Would have filled the philosophy of the club. Went to his agent. He had no interest whatsoever in joining us. So we'll have to give that one up. But anyway, we are still, well, I'm saying we. At the moment, I'm trying to get to grips with the playing staff that we've got here. I'm trying to do some motivating and training. And I'm trying to get to grips with, I mean, not only am I at a new club, I'm in a new country. So all of that is very strange, and I'm trying to get to grips with it. So my director of football, so I said, look, Foek, his name's Foek Bui. I'm sure I butchered that, but Foek Bui. So anyway, I said to him, look, Foek, you're in charge of transfers for the time being. Go out there, try and find me some youngish, good players who will fit into this tactical style. And he's doing quite well, actually. He's just come back with another wing back. But we've just signed a wing back, so I'm looking at other areas of the pitch to strengthen, really. But anyway, we've got about a week of the transfer window left. And as long as he does his job well, then we may be seeing a 1 or 2. We've got a little bit more money to spend, so we may be seeing 1 or 2 more players through the door. Anyway, the usual stuff, nothing changes, does it really? Going to go and play a few games off camera and see if we can, I mean, to be honest, maintaining that position of 10th would do me down to the ground. I would be chuffed to little mint balls. You've heard me say that before. It's one of my sayings. I'd be chuffed to little mint balls if we could finish 10th this season. Just establish ourselves, get away from the relegation area, bring some new players in through the summer, and then move forward and see where we get ourselves. Maybe next season, like I say, maybe into Europe, a European experience for me and my players. So all that would be really, really nice. Anyway, I'm going to go away and do all of that. And it's a very, very exciting stage in this season's save. And I'm very excited about it. And so should you be. You know, Holland. It's the home of really good football, isn't it? Ajax. They're well known for bringing young players through. And, you know, Ajax players are kind of, you know, known throughout the world. So I'm really looking forward to my time here in Holland, and particularly with SC Cambuur. Let's see if we can get some not only European football onto my CV, but maybe a little bit of silverware as well. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? And maybe alert some of the bigger clubs around Europe, possibly back in the Premier League, to the way that Gobby Gaffer operates. Well, we'll see you very shortly.